Resident Evil Code Veronica X, the slightly enhanced version of the original Code Veronica, has been released on a plethora of systems, and now it's made its way over to the PlayStation 4. However, is this a nightmare that's worth reliving, or should it just become zombie chow? Code Veronica X on the PS4 is unfortunately just a port of the PlayStation 2 version of the game. If you're familiar with the PS4's line of PS2 classics being brought to the PS4, that's pretty much what you're getting here. That means if you're unfamiliar with it, you're going to be getting that PS2 look and feel. No real touch-ups to the graphics, the resolution is relatively low, and some of the cutscenes are pretty cropped due to the fact they were meant to be played on the original PS2. However, with that in mind, it's still Resident Evil Code Veronica. If you're unfamiliar with Code Veronica, I won't spoil too much about the story, but basically you're playing as Claire Redfield, who gets imprisoned on an island after trying to infiltrate an Umbrella facility. Her brother Chris ends up eventually going to look for her, and you get to play as both Claire and Chris in the game throughout different portions of the story. Code Veronica, of course, features the tank style of controls, which a lot of people weren't big fans of, but I do feel like the movement is overall a little bit better than some of the other classic Resident Evil titles, with the quick turn ability, as well as it has some of my favorite knife play of the classic Resident Evils. The core gameplay has you exploring, finding objects and key cards and other keys to unlock doors or solve the game's various puzzles. A lot of times you'll travel through an area, find a new object, and then have to backtrack to a previously explored area in order to progress. There's plenty of zombies and other creatures to battle, including the reptilian hunters and the pretty gross bandersnatches that have the ability to stretch out their arms in order to swipe at you. These guys aren't very much seen in Resident Evil, though I wouldn't mind them coming back in a future title. You also have a plethora of weapons in order to take down the evil horde, including a handgun that you'll be able to upgrade, shotgun, magnum, grenade launcher, assault rifle, and submachine gun. Once you beat the main game, you will unlock the battle mode, and here you pick your character and then you travel through a series of rooms that are randomly selected. They are predetermined as far as the amount of enemies and what types of enemies are going to be in them, but what order you end up seeing these rooms are different each time you end up playing through it. You have a limited number of weapons and healing items at your disposal, and your goal is to see how quickly you're able to get to the end. From the technical side of things, though, the game ran smoothly. I didn't run any major glitching, crashing, or slowdown of any sort. Code Veronica X is available now on the PlayStation 4 for $14.99, though there are plenty of other versions of Code Veronica and Code Veronica X out there on a whole slew of other systems. One of the cool things about the game, though, for me, and one of the reasons why I wanted to check it out again, was not only am I a big Resident Evil fan, but there is a full trophy list, including a Platinum this time around. Code Veronica X was released on the PlayStation 3, but did not have a Plat there, but it does have one here. Overall, with the game being a PS2 to PS4 classic, you'll have to decide for yourself whether or not $14.99 is worth plopping down to buy the game for a second, third, fourth, or fifth time. There isn't anything else added other than the fact you do have the full trophy list in Platinum, and if you don't care about trophies, there really isn't anything different between this and the PS2 version of the title. In the end, Code Veronica is still one of my personal favorites of the Resident Evil series, and I'm going to be giving the game an 8 out of 10, but that's what I would give the PS2 version of the game, which is what this is in the end. This isn't like a remaster or repackaged or anything special. It's just the PS2 version, which I still think is fantastic. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.